I'm Jack, 30M, and I need to share my story. I've been in a relationship with Tiffany, 28F, for the past 2 years. We met through mutual friends at a party and hit it off immediately. Both of us had our fair share of failed relationships in the past, so we were cautious at first. But as time went on, we grew closer and fell deeply in love. Tiffany and I don't live together, but we try to see each other as often as possible. Our careers keep us busy, but we always make time for each other. We talk every day, either on the phone or through messages. My friends think Tiffany is great for me, and her friends seem to like me too. Everyone says we're perfect for each other. For Tiffany's birthday last month, I decided to surprise her with plane tickets for a week-long vacation together. I was so excited to spend quality time with her and show her how much she means to me. When I gave her the tickets, she was thrilled. She hugged me tightly and said it was the best gift she'd ever received. We spent the next few weeks planning our trip. We chose activities, looked up restaurants, and talked about all the fun we'd have. Tiffany seemed just as excited as I was. She even bought new clothes for the trip. The day before our flight, Tiffany called me. She sounded upset and told me her boss hadn't approved her leave. She said she'd have to stay behind for work. I was disappointed, but I understood. Work commitments happen, and I didn't want to make her feel bad about it. However, something didn't feel right. Tiffany had mentioned earlier that her leave was approved, so this sudden change seemed odd. I tried to push the thought away, not wanting to doubt her. But the feeling lingered. The next day, I decided to call Tiffany's office to see if there was any way they could let her have the time off. When I spoke to her coworker, they told me Tiffany wasn't in the office. In fact, they said she had taken a week off for vacation. My heart sank. Why would Tiffany lie to me? What was really going on? I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Without thinking it through, I booked a ticket to Tiffany's city. I know it wasn't the smartest move, but I needed to know the truth. When I arrived at Tiffany's apartment, I used the spare key she had given me. As I opened the door, I heard voices inside. One was Tiffany's, and the other was a man's voice I didn't recognize. I froze, not knowing what to do. Part of me wanted to burst in and confront them, but another part was terrified of what I might find. I stood there for what felt like hours, listening to their muffled conversation and laughter. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I knocked on the door loudly. The voices inside went silent. After a moment, I heard footsteps approaching. Tiffany opened the door, and her face went pale when she saw me. Behind her, I could see a man sitting on the couch, looking uncomfortable. "Jack," Tiffany said, her voice shaking. "What are you doing here?" I couldn't speak. I just stared at her, then at the man on the couch, then back at her. Tiffany started to stammer out explanations, but I couldn't hear her over the sound of my heart pounding in my ears. Finally, I found my voice. "Who is he?" I asked, pointing at the man. Tiffany hesitated, then said, "This is Mark. He's a coworker." I looked at Mark, who couldn't meet my eyes. "Is this why you couldn't come on our trip?" I asked Tiffany. She didn't answer, which was all the confirmation I needed. I turned and walked out of the apartment, ignoring Tiffany's calls for me to come back and let her explain. I wandered the streets for hours, trying to process what had happened. When I finally checked my phone, I had dozens of missed calls and messages from Tiffany. I read through them, each one feeling like a punch to the gut. Tiffany admitted that she had been lying to me. She and Mark had been having an affair for months. She claimed it didn't mean anything, that she still loved me, but her words rang hollow. I didn't respond to her messages. Instead, I booked a flight back home. As I sat in the airport, waiting for my plane, I felt numb. The future I had imagined with Tiffany was crumbling around me, and I didn't know how to pick up the pieces. When I got home, I turned off my phone and shut myself in my apartment. I couldn't face talking to anyone, not even my closest friends. I kept replaying everything in my mind, wondering how I could have been so blind. After a few days, I finally turned my phone back on. Tiffany had left dozens more messages, alternating between begging for forgiveness and accusing me of overreacting. My friends had also been trying to reach me, worried about my sudden disappearance. I called my best friend, Jake, and told him everything. He was furious on my behalf and offered to come over. I accepted, grateful for the company and support. Jake arrived with food and beer, and we spent the evening talking. He listened as I poured out my heartbreak and anger. He didn't try to offer solutions or tell me how to feel. He just listened, which was exactly what I needed. As the night wore on, Jake suggested I block Tiffany's number, at least for now. He said I needed time to process everything without her constant messages clouding my judgment. After some hesitation, I agreed. It felt final, like closing a door on that chapter of my life, but also somewhat liberating. The next day, I woke up feeling slightly better. The pain was still there, but it felt a little more manageable. I decided to take Jake's advice and focus on myself for a while. I threw myself into work, grateful for the distraction. In the evenings, I started going to the gym, pushing myself physically to exhaust my mind. Slowly, day by day, I started to feel a little more like myself. But the betrayal still stings. I keep wondering if there were signs I missed, if there was something I could have done differently. The trust I had in Tiffany, and in relationships in general, feels shattered. I know I need to move on, but right now, it feels impossible. The future I had imagined with Tiffany is gone, and I'm left trying to figure out what comes next. I'm not sure how to trust again, or if I even want to try. For now, I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm grateful for friends like Jake who have been there for me. But I can't help feeling lost and broken. I hope that with time, things will get easier. But right now, every day is a struggle. I'm not sure what I'm looking for by posting this. Maybe just to get it off my chest, or to hear from others who have been through something similar. If you've made it this far, thank you for reading. Any advice or words of support would be appreciated. Update 1. It's been 3 weeks since my last post, and I wanted to give an update on my situation. First, I want to thank everyone who commented and sent messages of support. Your kindness has been a bright spot in a very dark time. The past few weeks have been a roller coaster. Some days, I feel like I'm making progress and moving forward. Other days, the pain hits me all over again, and I'm right back where I started. I'm trying to be patient with myself, but it's hard. A week after my last post, something unexpected happened. I received a message from Mark, Tiffany's coworker. He asked if we could meet to talk. At first, I was angry. Why would I want to talk to the man who helped destroy my relationship? But curiosity got the better of me, and I agreed to meet him at a local coffee shop. When I arrived, Mark looked nervous. He started by apologizing profusely for his part in the affair. Then he dropped a bombshell. Tiffany had told him she was single when they started seeing each other. He had no idea I existed until he saw me at Tiffany's apartment that day. I was stunned. Part of me wanted to believe Mark was lying to save his own skin, but something in his demeanor seemed genuine. He showed me text messages between him and Tiffany that seemed to confirm his story. In them, Tiffany talked about being excited to start a new relationship after being single for a long time. Mark told me he ended things with Tiffany immediately after finding out about me. He said he felt terrible for being part of hurting someone, even unintentionally. He wanted to meet me to apologize and to let me know the full truth. I left the coffee shop feeling dazed. On one hand, knowing that Mark had been deceived too made me feel slightly less alone in my pain. On the other hand, it made Tiffany's betrayal even more profound. She hadn't just cheated, she had constructed an entire alternate reality. I spent the next few days wrestling with this new information. Part of me wanted to confront Tiffany, to demand answers. But another part of me knew that engaging with her would only bring more pain. In the end, I decided to maintain my no-contact rule. Whatever her reasons, Tiffany had made her choices, and I needed to focus on healing myself. This new revelation has made the healing process both easier and harder. Easier, because it's helped me see that Tiffany's actions were entirely about her own issues, not any failing on my part. Harder, because it's shaken my trust in people even more. If someone can lie so thoroughly and convincingly, how can I ever trust anyone again? My friends have been incredibly supportive through all of this. Jake, in particular, has been checking in on me regularly. He's been dragging me out of the house, making sure I don't isolate myself too much. Last weekend, he convinced me to join a local hiking group. It was the first time in weeks that I felt genuinely distracted from my problems. Work has been another lifeline. I've thrown myself into projects, staying late at the office most nights. My boss noticed and offered me a chance to lead a new initiative. It's challenging and time-consuming, but it gives me a sense of purpose and accomplishment that I desperately need right now. I've also started journaling, trying to process my thoughts and feelings. It's helping me track my progress and identify patterns in my emotions. On bad days, I can look back and see that I've had good days too, which gives me hope. One unexpected outcome of this whole ordeal is that it's brought me closer to my sister, Emma. We've always been close, but she lives in another state, so we don't talk as often as we'd like. When she heard about what happened with Tiffany, she started calling me every few days to check in. Our conversations have been a source of comfort and stability. Emma suggested I might benefit from talking to a counselor, and I'm considering it. The idea of opening up to a stranger is daunting, but I recognize that I might need professional help to work through this betrayal. As for Tiffany, she's made a few attempts to contact me through mutual friends. I've asked them to respect my wishes for no contact. Most have been understanding, but one friend, Lisa, keeps pushing me to hear Tiffany out. It's straining our friendship, and I'm not sure how to handle it. Overall, I'm doing better than I was 3 weeks ago, but I still have a long way to go. The pain isn't as sharp, but it's still there, a constant ache in the background of my days. I'm trying to focus on the future, on rebuilding my life without Tiffany, but it's a slow process. I'm taking things one day at a time, trying to be kind to myself on the bad days and grateful for the good ones. I know healing isn't linear, and I'm trying to be patient with the process. Thank you again to everyone who's been supportive. Your words and stories have been a comfort. If anyone has been through something similar and has advice on moving forward, I'd be grateful to hear it. And if anyone is going through something like this now, know that you're not alone. We'll get through this. Update 2. It's been 6 months since my original post, and a lot has changed. I want to thank everyone who's followed my story and offered support. Your kindness has meant more than I can express. The biggest news is that I've moved to a new city for work. The company I work for offered me a promotion that involved relocating. At first, I was hesitant. The idea of leaving behind my support system was daunting. But after a lot of thought, I decided it was exactly what I needed, a fresh start. Moving has been challenging but rewarding. I'm in a new environment, meeting new people, and building a life that's entirely my own. It's been liberating to walk down streets that don't hold memories of Tiffany. My new job is demanding but fulfilling. I'm learning new skills and taking on more responsibility. The change of pace has been good for me, giving me less time to dwell on the past. I've also started therapy. It took me a while to find a therapist I clicked with, but now that I have, it's been incredibly helpful. We've been working through my trust issues and developing strategies for moving forward. It's not always easy, but I can feel myself making progress. As for Tiffany, I've maintained my no contact rule. She made a few more attempts to reach out in the months after my last update, but they've stopped now. I heard through mutual friends that she's moved to another state too. Knowing there's physical distance between us has helped me feel more secure. One unexpected development came about 3 months ago. Lisa, the friend who had been pushing me to talk to Tiffany, reached out with an apology. She admitted that Tiffany had been manipulating her, feeding her lies about our relationship. Lisa had finally seen through Tiffany's deceptions and felt terrible for doubting me. It was a bittersweet moment. I was glad to have my friend back, but it was another reminder of how deep Tiffany's lies went. On the relationship front, I've started dating again, very casually. I met a woman named Claire through a work event, and we've been on a few dates. It's nothing serious, and I've been upfront about not being ready for a committed relationship. Claire has been understanding, and we're taking things very slowly. It's nice to be reminded that there are good, honest people out there. My relationship with my sister, Emma, has continued to strengthen. She came to visit me in my new city last month, and it was great to show her around my new life. She's been my rock through all of this, and I'm incredibly grateful for her. I've also picked up a new hobby, rock climbing. There's an indoor climbing gym near my new apartment, and I've found that I really enjoy the physical and mental challenge. It's become a form of moving meditation for me, a way to clear my mind and focus on the present moment. Looking back, I can see how far I've come. The pain of Tiffany's betrayal isn't gone, but it's no longer the defining feature of my life. I'm building new memories, new relationships, and a new sense of self. I still have moments of doubt and insecurity. There are still nights when I lie awake, replaying the past and wondering what if. But these moments are becoming less frequent and less intense. I'm learning to trust again, both others and myself. I'm more cautious now, but I'm trying not to let my experience with Tiffany close me off from new connections. It's a delicate balance, but I'm working on it. To anyone going through something similar, I want to say, it gets better. It's not easy, and it's not quick, but healing is possible. Surround yourself with good people, be kind to yourself, and keep moving forward, even when it's hard. Thank you all again for your support throughout this journey. Your words have been a source of strength and comfort. Here's to new beginnings and brighter days ahead. Update 3. It's been 2 years since my original post, and I felt it was time for a final update. So much has changed, and I'm in a completely different place now, both literally and figuratively. I'm still living in the city I moved to for work, and it truly feels like home now. My job continues to challenge and fulfill me. I've been promoted again and now lead a team of my own. It's stressful at times, but I love the sense of purpose it gives me. The biggest news is that I'm in a new relationship. Her name is Olivia, and we've been together for about a year. We met through my rock climbing hobby. She's an instructor at the gym I go to. Our relationship developed slowly and naturally, which was exactly what I needed. Olivia knows about my past with Tiffany, and she's been incredibly patient and understanding. We've had many open, honest conversations about trust and communication. It hasn't always been easy. I still struggle with insecurity sometimes, but Olivia has been supportive every step of the way. I continued with therapy for about a year after my last update. It was incredibly helpful in processing my experiences and developing healthier relationship patterns. I still use many of the techniques I learned, especially when I'm feeling anxious or doubtful. As for Tiffany, I haven't heard from her in over a year now. The last I heard, she had gotten married. I was surprised to find that the news didn't affect me much. It was just information about someone who used to be important to me but no longer is. My friendships have evolved too. Some of my old friends have drifted away, but I've made new, strong connections in my new city. Jake and I are still close. He came to visit a few months ago, and it was great to show him around my new life. My relationship with my sister, Emma, continues to be a source of strength and joy. She's getting married next year, and I'm honored to be her man of honor. Olivia and I are excited to be part of the celebration. Looking back on the past 2 years, I'm amazed at how much I've grown. The pain of Tiffany's betrayal is no longer a daily presence in my life. It's more like an old scar, a reminder of past hurt, but no longer painful to the touch. I've learned a lot about myself through this journey. I'm stronger and more resilient than I ever knew. I've also learned the importance of self-respect and setting boundaries. These lessons have served me well in all areas of my life, not just in relationships. Rock climbing has remained an important part of my life. I've progressed to outdoor climbing and even took a trip to tackle some challenging routes in Utah last summer. It's become more than just a hobby. It's a way for me to challenge myself, face my fears, and build trust with others. My advice to anyone going through a similar situation is this: give yourself time to heal, but don't be afraid to open yourself up to new experiences and relationships. The right person will understand your past and be patient with your healing process. I also want to emphasize the importance of focusing on personal growth. Whether it's through a new hobby, career advancement, or personal development, investing in yourself is crucial. It not only helps distract from the pain but also builds confidence and self-worth. This will be my final update. I feel like I've closed this chapter of my life, and I'm ready to fully embrace the new one. Thank you to everyone who has followed my journey and offered support along the way. Your kindness and encouragement have meant more than you know.